This meeting to order. Please stand with us. We'll be led in prayer by Alderman Gallagher. Please remain standing after that for the Pledge of Allegiance. It will be led by Alderman at Large George Payne.
Heavenly Father, Lord, we want to come here and just thank you for this new year, Lord. A new year to celebrate you and all the wonderful things that you've done, Lord. Lord, let us do everything not out of selfish ambition, but desire to do your will. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to get started this evening. I'm going to do one thing a little different, and it's in light of what unfortunately happened at the last city board meeting. It was something that, fortunately in my 13 years, this has never happened. So I just want to make sure I give everybody a fair chance to be informed and understand the format of what we're doing here tonight. This is a city board meeting by state law. What this is, on the first and third Tuesday of every month, this is where the city handles the official business of the city. What this is not, it's not a public forum, although we do like to hear from our citizens at all times. It is not a place for political expression or debate. There will be order in the meeting. State law gives me the authority. The people of Southaven elected me as mayor, and state law gives me the authority to preside over this meeting. So if you don't know what the word preside is, I would suggest that you Google it right now, because I'm going to preside over this meeting, okay? We're going to hear from the people who are registered to speak, and we welcome that. But this meeting, there is going to be order in this meeting, and there's not going to be shouting and speaking out. If you speak out of turn, you will be removed from the meeting, okay? So when I show up on Tuesday, it's been a long day for me. This day starts early for me on board meeting days. I've talked to a lot of people. I've done a lot of stuff. When I get here, my wife will tell you I love peace. I love a peaceful meeting, and that's what I'm hopeful that we'll have tonight. But I'm telling you, if you choose to do otherwise, you will be leaving this meeting. So I appreciate everybody's cooperation. First on the agenda is approval of minutes for the December 16, 25 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Hoots, second by Alderman Payne. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Lewis. Yes. Alderman Hoots.
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is approval for travel for the congressional briefing trip that we do. We do this usually every year, if not every other year, along with other DeSoto County officials. We take a group trip to Washington, D.C., and we have meetings with our United States senators and congresspeople and their aides to present issues for DeSoto County and to, not just funding, but other challenges that we have. We use that meeting to seek their help. So it's a very important meeting. It's been very productive over the years, so we need to get authorization for travel. Board members, we are going to have capacity to take 3 board members. So if y'all want to decide who those 3 are, but did we decide who's going or just authorize the travel?
We authorize travel.
Okay, so we'll just authorize travel tonight, and if y'all will be thinking about it and talking about it, and just let us know so we can let the Economic Council know, who all will be going. So is there a motion to approve the travel?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Flores, second by Alderman Gallagher. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Lewis. Yes. Alderman Hoots.
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is a resolution for an emergency expenditure for a traffic signal at the 2-lane and State Line Road intersection. City Attorney, Mr. Nick Manley.
Yes, Mayor and Board, this resolution will just authorize the expenditure for the signal at 2-lane and State Line as noted. It's for $65,200. It'll authorize the expenditure along with the placement of the signal at that location due to the increase in traffic and the citizens' well-being. So tonight, the authorization for that resolution so that could be begun and paid for.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Hoots, second by Alderman Payne. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Lewis.
Yes.
Alderman Hayes.
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is a parks contract with I-55 Sports.
Yeah, this contract with the Parks Department and I-55 Sports will authorize I-55 Sports to assist with the umpiring and I guess staffing for umpires for the baseball tournaments. It's basically ADP for the baseball tournament umpires. They'll do the direct deposit to tax forms, tax reporting. It'll assist the city clerk's office with those functions as well. The cost should be around $23,000. So tonight I need the authorization for Parks Director to sign this contract with I-55 Sports.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Flores, second by Alderman Wheeler. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Ayes have it, motion carries. Next on our agenda is a Bankless Amphitheater contract.
This contract just for the lease in the amphitheater for the concert on May 14th and the letter agreement. The authorization tonight for the mayor to sign the contract for that lease.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Wheeler. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Lewis.
Yes.
Alderman Hayes.
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is an item that has been tabled at the last two meetings. So it's the issue of opting in to medical cannabis in the city of Southaven. So the item has been tabled. So I'll accept a motion to untable the item.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Flores. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. This is to discuss it. This is not to take action. So again, all in favor say aye to discuss it.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Ayes have it, so it's open for discussion. So at this point, because of the detailed discussions for over a 3-year period, I have nothing else to say about it, but we open the floor to any of the board members who would like to speak or take action.
Make a motion to vote for it. Would vote finally to either accept or deny,
Okay, so what is your motion?
to put it to a vote.
To put it to a vote?
Right.
Okay. Wouldn't it be simpler to, you make a motion either to opt in or, well, really, the only motion would be to opt in because you're already opted out. Correct. So the person who would need to make the motion would be making a motion to opt in,
All right, well,
in accordance with the ordinance that you prepared, Nick.
Yeah, the motion would be to opt in based on the ordinance. And that's, since we opted out, the only thing really to do is opt in through the ordinance at this point.
You still want to talk about
yeah,
Alderman
then I
Flores?
withdraw it.
Okay. So is there anyone who would like to opt in to the ordinance prepared by our city attorney, Nick Manley, at this time? Okay, last time, is there anyone who wants to opt in, wants to vote, wants to make a motion to call a vote to opt in to medical cannabis for dispensaries only? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on. Next on the agenda is the item, this was a potential condemnation of a property from old business. And so we want to accept a motion to open that discussion again. It's the old Checkers building. Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Hoots, second by Alderman Lewis. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Ayes have it, that motion carries, so it is open for discussion again. We have our planning director, Ms. Whitney Cook.
Yes, sir. If you will recall, at the previous board meeting, we discussed two specific sites under Mississippi Code 21-1911 for the option to possibly tear them down based on structural damage or irreparable damage to the buildings. This one, we had a representative here that wanted a little bit more time to discuss the options with us as well. We weren't able to get access to the inside of the building. We were able to obtain access to the building. I have both the fire marshal here as well as the building official here. It is still the recommendation at this point in time to have the building removed based on the fact that it is a modular building that has a 20-year lifespan. It has been here 50 years plus. There is significant structural and exterior damage to it. It is the opinion of both that the repair will certainly outweigh the cost of a removal and a possible replacement at some point in time. If you have any specific questions, like I said, they're both in the audience, and I believe the attorney for Checkers is here as well. So if you have any questions for me also.
Can we get the reports? Wanted to get the reports.
The reports are on, you should have those. Oh, there's actually a USB drive that has all the pictures for the interior space as well as the revised reports that Michael has on USB drive for everybody.
So we'll need those will be part of the proceedings in the minutes.
Correct.
Those reports and those pictures as part of consideration. Are they on can we see them on the screen or no?
They can pull them up. They're on the USB drive that we have back there. There was
Okay,
just
there
a
you
lot
go.
of pictures.
There you go.
If you can, go back all the way at the end. There's some PDFs that are just both the letters of recommendation.
So Whitney, I have a question. Even if the board decides to condemn and it's removed, we're still at the mercy of the landowner. I mean, it's gonna be an empty lot at least until,
A rebuild,
Who
a
knows?
purchase of some sort. We do have an interested party on purchasing. I guess the way you look at it is, would you rather have an empty building on site, or would you rather have a maintained empty lot on site? That's your two options at this point.
I understand.
And understand, if we do condemn it tonight and say the recommendation is to tear it down, there's still a trial, or not a trial period, but a waiting period for them to figure out how they want to proceed forward as well. You know, the goal is to have them remove it and do the cost analysis on it. It's not our intentions to do it on behalf of the city, but it shows us, it shows our force that we're pushing forward, that we're not okay with the way
Okay.
it is now, so. And those are the letters. I believe that one is from, that's gonna be the building department one. Like I said, James Gentry is in the audience, and he did revise it. That is the amendment to the fire right there, and it is still the recommendation of both that is just structurally so far gone that the expense to repair, if it was even repairable, is not worth it, as it's a modular building with a 20-year lifespan. So,
Did anybody else have anything to say to the,
like I said, I believe the attorney is, you're good, nothing? Okay. No comment from him. Like I said, if there's any further questions in detail, we're here to provide those answers for you. Otherwise, like I said, our recommendation is to continue forward with the removal.
I'm gonna make a motion, we accept the recommendation to condemn the property.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Hoots to accept our fire and building officials' recommendation to condemn the property. Is there a second?
second.
We have a second by Alderman Payne. Floor is open for discussion.
And I was going to add, just because we condemn it, we'll still, I mean, we don't have to, we're not tearing it down tomorrow, so
That's what I was explaining to
it may take some time to get to that point. Obviously, we want Checkers to continue to look at it as well, but this is just for us to have the authority in the event it's needed, but it's not something that will happen probably by the end of the month or even next month. It's something that, but we do, to Whitney's point, it does show that the city's position on it, but there's still maybe some time for Checkers and the landlord figure out how they want to proceed with it.
And I will say, all parties are working well with each
Yeah.
other. So it's, we're hopeful there can be something done that appeases everybody's, concerns
That's
with
good.
it, so.
Yeah, we talked to Checkers today, and they understand. We're trying to work with them as well on it to just figure it out.
Yep.
So.
Good.
So is there any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Lewis. Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Okay, so next on we actually do not have any other items on the planning agenda, so I'll move on. The next item on our agenda is the mayor's report. So if my team, I'm gonna start with I promised you a 2025 year in review. I guess it's a good thing. Normally I do this in December, but we had so many good things going on. Just being honest with you, I didn't have time to get to it. So I went and just compiled just some of the highlights of the things that happened in 2025 for Southaven. And again, this is not everything. We're a big city. We're a blessed city. We're very economically successful. There's a lot of great things going on. but these are just some of the highlights of what happened in 2025. So again, I'll break this up in the categories of our priorities, kind of the goals that I try to lead for our city. Obviously, in any city or any governmental entity, you know, the economy and, you know, your financial health has got to be at the top. So as far as the report for 25, we still have a very booming economy. Y'all know that obviously the XAI development was announced in 2025. That's in our industrial zone, and obviously there's a lot of moving parts out there, but it's been a very positive announcement for us. Then we move on. We've talked about this for years, but there's actually been progress with the Embassy Suites Convention Center expansion. That's going to be a tremendous addition for DeSoto County. We had the groundbreaking ceremony back in August, and as far as the last update, everything is on pace for that 7-story, 240-room, $75 million hotel to be built, along with a convention center expansion, and then they will be connected. So when that's done, it will actually be the first convention center in the state of Mississippi that has a hotel on site. So we believe that that will provide big-time tourism dividends to DeSoto County in North Mississippi. So that's should be going vertical sometime before mid-year, and the latest projections that in the spring of 29 the hotel would be open. So very excited about that. Obviously the Snowden Entertainment District continues to roar. Tremendous activity over there. Some of the new points, new things that open. South Point Grocery, Walk-Ons has been super popular. Bangers Pickleball is about to open. Monster Golf and Belly Acres Restaurant just opened. Those are all A1 quality developments. One of the things that y'all know that I've been most excited about is, you know, for years we've been trying to get redevelopment back in our original business district. And so we got the announcement that McDonald's is going to rebuild on the same site that it was from 1975 to the mid-90s. Y'all know it was a special place in the early years of Southaven. And so, you know, you would say, why are you getting so excited about a McDonald's? It's not just any McDonald's. It has a lot of history. And so to have that rebuilt on that site is huge for us. Kia Auto Dealership on Goodman, we've never had one of those. That's a big get. And then improving recreational value. All this Board of Aldermen and me have made that a highest priority to, you know, to improve the quality of life, the recreational things in our city. Some of the things that happened, we completed the tennis expansion, 8 new courts. We resurfaced the Field of Dreams, which is our sports field for all children, even those who have physical disabilities. They can get out there and play baseball, and so it's a real special thing to resurface that. Cherry Valley Park is under renovation. We're committed to renovating one of the greatest parks in our city's history, and so the bike track and skate park they're putting the final touches on that now. Snowden Grove video board, if you haven't seen that, it's just a beautiful board that helps us promote the concerts at the amphitheater and also public announcements that affect everybody in the city. First ever, kudos to Alderman Wheeler for bringing the idea forward to have the first ever Hummingbird Garden and Festival. And like I was telling him, of all the things that we've done, I've never seen people more excited than the Hummingbird Festival. It was an outstanding event. If you haven't seen it, it's a beautiful garden, and we'll have that festival. It was in September, wasn't it?
Yep,
Second week in September. We continue to celebrate our history. For those who haven't heard me say this before, Southaven is still a young city, but we're at the point now where we're old enough to celebrate our history. And when I was first elected mayor, I made the comment, or just noticed, that there's no historical marker signs. Nobody is noting anything that's special in Southaven. So we started this program to start marking the special places and people in our city. So this year, we've already done the places. We didn't add any new ones this year, but the people that we put in our tribute hall are phenomenal. So we have Mike Mullins that's been honored. We're about to have his ceremony coming up soon. Tom Long, former police chief. Marlene Sprinkle, the real first city clerk for the city, and Bob Perry, who is a very respected judge in our municipal court for many years. These people are highly worthy of that, and we look forward to having their ceremonies soon. Again, as always, aggressive infrastructure improvement. With a city growing as fast as Southaven does, y'all know this, we have traffic concerns, okay? That's something that comes with fast growth. A lot of times you can't plan the infrastructure projects fast enough to keep up with the population growth, but we continue to make that a priority and move. So obviously the I-55 widening project, we've been lobbying for that from the state for about 10, 12 years. That is funded, and what you're seeing out there now is they're moving utilities. So that is becoming real. That will widen I-55 from Goodman Road south throughout the Church Road intersection and rework the Church Road intersection, and that will be under construction in early 2027. So we're very excited about that. Nell Road extension is basically done. That helps our grid going east and west to mitigate traffic on Goodman and also Getwell. Snowden Lane widening was done. And then we continue to get our budget as high as the city's history. We now budget $7 million a year for street resurfacing. That's the highest in history. We're very proud of that. Drainage improvement projects continue. The Sweeney Church widening project was done. And then the beautiful brick wall at Rasco Road and Highway 51, again, to reinvest in the original Southaven again. That was done in December. Very beautiful, very proud of that. Central Parkway sidewalks were done for safety of the Central Parkway Elementary School students. And we renovated our animal shelter. So that's probably 20 years overdue, but we finally got that done, and we understand that that's paying big dividends for us. Everybody's happy there. Public safety commitment goes every year without saying. It's number one. Without public safety, you have nothing. If you look, in the last 7 years, we've increased our police budget by 103%. And so I want anybody to Google it or go tell me that there's another city in America that's increased their police budget in the last 7 years by 103%. So we're very proud of that, and it's paying dividends. We're keeping our city safe. Our police do an incredible job. Got to do that. Got to do that. Our general crime statistics are generally flat, and actually I know everybody gets emotional when you start saying this, but in many categories, I'm not afraid to tell you, they're down. So crime is down in Southaven. So I'll challenge anyone that wants to debate that. And again, I thank Chief Kern and all the men and women in our police department for the incredible job that they do. Then growth and unique geographic challenges, again, that goes to our police. We have a unique geographic location that creates challenges for us, but we're doing very well with that. Fire station number 5 was completed in this past year. So what to expect in 2026? Y'all know the biggest issue glaring in the face of DeSoto County is the disconnect from the Memphis sewer system. It's a $300 million solution. A federal court order in 2023 indicated that DeSoto County could no longer use Memphis sewer system. So we had 8 years to disconnect. So we're looking for solutions. That is at top of mind for everybody in 2026. Told you about Embassy Suites will start, I-55. State Line Roundabout project, we're still in the baby stages of that. I've heard people repeatedly say, I don't know if they're joking or halfway serious, but say, let's build a wall on the northern border. Well, there's no way to build a wall on the northern border. That's not practical, and we wouldn't want to do that. But what we can do is plan of putting roundabouts at key north-south arterial intersections, and we're studying the financial details of that right now. And what that does is slows traffic. So if you have people who commit crimes in Southaven and then try to run back to Memphis, it's going to create a barrier for them, and it's going to make a tremendous difference in crime prevention. And so that's, you'll see and hear more about that in 2026. And then just moving fast, Star Landing Sweeney, there's going to be a roundabout there. The tourism tax extension that's fund our parks is up for renewal again for the state legislature. We'll be working on that. We plan to put LED lighting at Greenbrook Park, Snowden Grove. Getwell Multi-Use Trail has been funded by an MPO federal plan. That will be from Nail to Church. That should be under construction this year. We have a beautiful State Line Road beautification project that's on the inside sound walls of I-55 and the overpass at State Line Road. And again, it's just beautiful painting to highlight our city and make a grand entrance to Southaven when people come in. We're very proud of making our city very pretty. XAI, continues to move quickly. I told you about McDonald's, our court renovation. We took the old Fred's right down the street here on Northwest Drive. We needed more space for our court. And within about 3 months, that's going to be complete, which will help us tremendously with our court operations. But again, I'm late doing this normally, I think, but I thank everybody for the year. But I do thank the Board of Aldermen and our city for a great year in 2025. And let's keep that thing rolling in 26. So next on the mayor's report, just to enter in our minutes, we have an MOU with MZX Tech, which is a subsidiary of XAI. They've agreed to spend $3,460,000 to help us widen State Line Road and to resurface State Line Road all the way from 2-lane road all the way to Interstate 55. So that's a very gracious investment by them back into our community. We're very grateful for that, and we think it says a lot about their commitment to Southaven. So as far as entering the minutes, is there any?
Just place it, because it was approved the last meeting, so just place it in the minutes for this meeting.
Okay, and Andrew, you'll help us with that? Thank you. Okay, another positive update I want to share with everyone, and this just is I asked our fire chief about this today because I've had just a gut feeling that, after you do what I do for a while, you can just feel things, like you can tell trends and feel it. And I noticed when I read reports every day that we're not having quite as many opioid overdose calls as we used to. And when I tell you in 2022 and before, it was extremely alarming. I've had many conversations with parents of children who've lost their lives with an overdose. And it truly has been an epidemic in our country, and Southaven is not immune to that either. And so gave me a lot of worry, and a lot of things have happened, but I just want to report to you that we have a great trend going. And so in 2022, our EMS team responded to 174 overdose calls. Y'all think about that, 174. 2023, it's 156. 2024, down to 147. 2025, it's only 38 calls.
Wow.
And so I know there's a lot of things that contribute to that success. We think just the general awareness of the dangers of, it's just the saddest thing in the world. You got a 20-year-old kid that didn't get a second chance to make a mistake, that took the wrong pill, lost his life or her life. And so I think the awareness of it and the danger of it, and then also the use, obviously the use of Narcan has helped that tremendously. But I have to celebrate that tonight. That's just a great thing that our calls are down in Southaven, so fewer of our young people and people in general are losing their lives due to opioid overdose. So that's my last update there. The next one is fresh, and I want to go ahead and talk about this and just real briefly, but we've mentioned XAI. Obviously, everybody knows it's in the news. It's a huge development, getting a lot of attention. And this has already been announced. You've not heard from me, but I just want to make sure that the people of Southaven know what the latest is on this. And again, just as I've told the board and told the audiences of these meetings in past, in order for us to be an appealing site for economic development, which pays tremendous dividends to our citizens, we have to respect companies' competitive situation. Like there's things that, there is a time and place when we release certain information. So if me or one of these board members or anybody else were to get ahead of that and speak out of turn, that could jeopardize the competitive advantage of someone who's wanting to invest tons of money in our city. So we have to respect that, and we don't get out and speak ahead of them. And so that's the reason for that. So what has been announced now, which is tremendous, it's a game-changing announcement, is XAI just recently announced the purchase of the building formerly used by GXO at 2400 State Line Road as expansion plans continue in Southaven. When the first announcement was made on August 1st of 2024, in that announcement, we didn't know everything, but we knew this had the potential to be a game-changing development for us. And so what they're doing now, this solidifies, the amount of money involved here solidifies their commitment to developing it on the Mississippi side. So this 810,000 square foot facility will become the home of their third data center in the metropolitan area and the second facility in Mississippi, along with a renovated power plant currently underway at 2875 Stanton Road. The newest data center will be home to GB300 processing units, which are one of the most modern, some of the most modern technology for these units for artificial intelligence operations. It's expected to bring new job counts in excess of 100 immediately. This new development is consistent with the initial projected plans to step up expansion across the Mississippi line, making Southaven a key part of XAI operations in general, not just here locally, but their total operations worldwide. This it'll be a multi-billion now dollar development, is coveted globally and has further potential to make Southaven the home of one of the very largest economic developments in the history of Mississippi. Our city and entire community will soon reap unprecedented financial benefits from this new strategic alliance. I'm always proud of my city. You always have people that say, well, the reason, X comes here or Y comes here or whomever is because of your geographic location, your airport, your interstate system, all those things matter. I'm not trying to suggest that they don't. But don't kid yourself. The city that we have is attractive globally, and this is proof of that. Southaven is always poised and prepared to become the ultimate showcase to a development of this magnitude, and I continue to welcome this partnership, again, as it will pay huge dividends for the city of Southaven. And so that's going to be all that I have on the mayor's report this evening. So next on our agenda, as I mentioned earlier, we always love to hear from our citizens. This is not a public forum, but we want to hear from our citizens. I will say this, that I challenge anyone to look at my social media channels. I have Twitter, I have 2 Facebook pages, I have a mayor's report blog on the website. These meetings, I talk to the camera, I give you numbers to the penny. I'll tell you that I'm the most transparent elected official in the history of this state. And I want you to, if I'm not, you show me somebody who is. I can show you where every penny of every dollar has been spent since I was elected on June 28 of 2013. And you show me again somebody who can. So we're going to be transparent. We want to hear from the people. And so we have 2 people that have registered to speak tonight, and we're going to go in that order, okay? So we're going to, because we have city business to take care of, we can't stay here all night talking about issues. You're going to get 3 minutes to say your piece, okay? So the first one is going to be Jason Haley. Will you please come forward?
Hey, so, last time we talked here, you said they were putting the sound wall up, or I believe you said they have. Is that complete, or is that in progress? Do we know?
Yeah, and you brought a legitimate concern, Jason. I appreciate that. So can I give you an update?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I knew you were coming. I knew you wanted an update, and you deserve that. And so the answer to your question, several weeks back, we are monitoring the noise there. And like I told you, the noise is a problem. It's
a
too
big
much.
problem.
It's a problem. It needs to be fixed. And like I told everyone in my statement on August the 1st, I would never allow any kind of economic development to come to this city that hurt our city. And my promise today stands to that. And I have upheld that promise because I've had numerous discussions with them. So the wall was a $7 million wall that was put up, I think, about a month ago. It did bring the decibels down, measured the decibels. It brought the decibels down about 10. So the current plan at this time, and I've quizzed them about this because I share your concern. These temporary turbines, like you're going to hear natural construction noise out there.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about
You're
that.
not worried about that.
No,
You're going to hear trucks backing up and the whole thing. You're worried about the hum that sounds like a jet airplane on a runway.
And the high-pitched noise, which is constant.
Yes.
Yes.
And so that is being caused by the temporary turbines that are out there. So when they start a new turbine, for it to work properly and not damage the gas line. They have to turn that thing on full blast. You mentioned yourself that you noticed at times it's higher, then it seems to go away a little bit, and then it's higher again.
Yeah.
So the reason that you're seeing the decibel level higher at times is for that reason.
Okay.
That is not acceptable.
No.
We got to look for another solution to that. I've been out there countless times. I've never owned a decibel meter until now.
too, until
I
recently.
thank you, Whitney. Where are you, Whitney? Whitney provided me with my first ever decibel meter, and I have been using the heck out of it. So here's what's the wall was about a $7 million wall. Took it down some. The next plan is to build a berm, to build a dirt berm with evergreen landscaping. You will notice you live closest as any. Actually, where you live, I've been to the end of Colonial Hills Drive. I've been to Cherry Valley Park. I've been to Stanton Road. I've been to Two Lane. I've walked everywhere. Where you live, and I think it's due to the grade of the land, is the worst.
Okay.
When you read that, like I've
That's
even
comforting.
been on Stanton. When I know you're not proud of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so even on Stanton, we've got higher readings at your property. I think it's because it's elevated. So the goal, the next thing on the plan, is to build a berm that's about a $12.8 million berm, and then to plant evergreen landscaping. When the leaves fell off the trees in the fall, it was a tremendous difference. And so that's one of the things that's causing it to be even more severe. But the berm with additional landscaping is projected to make a tremendous difference in the reduction. Again, I'm not leaving you. I keep my promises. They know I've expressed the concern. They're aware of that. There's other things that can be done. We're going to control the noise. That is going to happen.
Yeah, so I mean, and thanks for the update, anything to help it, but in the last meeting, just to clarify, you just say the wall is up and you went out there and your decibel reading showed as low as 39.1. I've never had a reading that low other than those 3 days. So I think it's important to add that was the 16th when you measured that. So that was a Tuesday. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday were the 3 most peaceful days I've had since August from this noise. And to me, it can't be a coincidence that Monday, the 15th, there was a public hearing for the turbines and XAI in Memphis. So there was a lot of media, a lot of probably environmentalists, people in town that were obviously visiting these other sites. So they go down there, it was quiet for 3 days. And then the following day, that noise got so loud, people up to 3 miles away in Horn Lake were asking about it, were complaining about this noise. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad you went down there to get the decimal reading, and you said you've done more. I've never had it up under 40. So even in another email you mentioned to me that these temporary units should be at 44 or below for the decibels. I can tell you that high-pitched noise carries farther than that. I mean, so when you speak of decimal readings, people could say, hey, my dishwasher is this same decimal level. Well, if I put my dishwasher in my backyard and ran it, people a half mile or 3 miles away aren't hearing it. So this is a different type of noise. Now, the lower tone, I hear that inside my house pretty much every night. Some nights worse than others, and it's more of a pressure. I've tried earplugs, doesn't help, still hear it. So, I mean, this is a big deal. This is a big problem, and I understand I might be the closest, but there's other residents around there that in Colonial Hills that definitely have these same concerns.
Oh, yeah, and I
still
will
hear
tell you this, on January 2nd, I was at Cherry Valley Park. I spent 2 hours out there listening. I walked some of the streets of Colonial Hills. I know Colonial Hills pretty well.
Yeah.
I walked the streets of Colonial Hills, unacceptable. It was a loud roar. And then on the decibel ratings, again, the day that I told you was down as low as 39. And so just on my own, I've really, just using the human ear and then using the technology with a decibel meter, there were days that you said after that, and they were as high as 53.
Yeah, I've got readings over 60. When we're talking about decimal readings too, I mean, neither one of us are audio engineer experts, I'm assuming. I know I'm not, but in a dBA reading, you're getting around 60. If you have that meter and you switch it to C, then you're getting 70, 80. So I mean, I know there's differences there, but I've been trying to get readings of both just to have some comparison for someone that may know better. Hey, this is what this means.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But just to be consistent, I've done mine the same way every time.
Okay.
So there were readings as high as 53, 54.
Yeah.
And when it's that high, it's unacceptable. It's too loud. I've spoken with XA. I bet they're aware of that. But on the flip side, I've been there when the readings were as low as 39 to 42, and I can tell you that when it's that low, I'd cook out on your back porch every night. It's not a problem.
No, it's still a problem. That high pitched noise carries. So even when I was at, say 41, 42 on one night, that high pitched noise still reaches me.
Yeah.
Sitting in my backyard, you can hear it. And there's no denying it.
Yeah.
I mean, now that being said, some people in the neighborhood do deny it. With hearing loss, hearing damage, or over a certain age, that high pitch, the frequencies may not be heard.
Yeah.
My mother's been down, and she says, I'm not really hearing that high pitch. I'm like, well, I hear it now. I have a neighbor that's been a flight attendant for 30 plus years. She doesn't always hear the high pitch, but she does sometimes.
And there's a lot of factors that contribute to that, like the air humidity and things like that. So there's going to be some variation to that.
Yeah, but I mean,
what
it's-
I'm telling you, with the human ear and then measuring it, I think that their goal is to get under 40. And so I'm confident that if we're under 40 there in the low 40s, I think it's going to be something that's not going to be as disruptive. And so that's the goal. But I would agree with you, 53 to 56 is not acceptable.
I mean, even in the 40s again, though, I will stand on that for me to be out there in my yard, cleaning around the house or doing stuff, that's irritating. It's hard to be outside for long when all you're hearing is this high-pitched whine.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. And again, from inside my house, I've got new windows. I got nice windows.
Yeah.
I hear that low tone. I hear it consistently inside my house at
Yeah.
night, trying to sleep. I've lost sleep over this. Plenty of it, just because it's, I'll put a podcast or have some audio playing, and then it goes off, and then you hear that noise. If you wake up, use the restroom, you hear that noise, and then, obviously it gets me angry because it's still happening, and it's happened since August. So, again, you said this is a 12-month thing, that their permit for these mobile turbines ends in next August. So I mean, this is going to be till August. It seems like that I'm going to have these problems with the noise.
No, we're working on that daily. We're working on that daily, and they've committed to that.
So,
and the other thing, it is fair to point out, and again, don't get mad at me. I'm not trying to make you mad, but the area across the railroad tracks has been an industrial zone since the city's inception.
Right.
It has just not been used to its capacity like it's being used now. So you bought a house next to an industrial zone.
Yeah.
You did. And so in the 70s, the Grenada Railroad the trains are not now, but in the 1970s, I lived in the neighborhood, and the trains were frequent. So where you are, you would get at least 3 trains a night. So I'm just trying to put that in perspective. You do live in an area that's adjacent to an industrial zone.
Right, and the trains, they come and go, like the planes fly over and they go. It's not a 24/7 consistent noise. It's a big difference. I understand industrial zone, however, I've been here 20 years, and as someone in their mid-20s, they're not looking, I didn't consider any of that, buying my house.
Yeah.
And then, 20 years later, all of a sudden, starting in August, I feel like I'm being tortured daily.
Yeah.
So I mean, shame on me for not looking at all the details and knowing everything that, hey, there's an industrial zone, even though it's not been used or it's been quiet, never heard a peep out of it, and all of a sudden it is.
Yeah.
And this power plant, I've talked to people that have lived here longer than 20 years. The Duke Energy plant, when it was around, my understanding wasn't making a ton of noise. It wasn't a disturbance like this. This is not just a revised power plant. This is a massive scale operation.
Well, and that's why I've told you before, and again, just to reiterate that, these turbines that are out there are temporary. So when the permanent units are there, they're housed, and they're going to be placed further to the west where the old Duke turbines were.
Okay.
So there's going to be a difference with that then. But even still, look, I don't want you to think that that someone's writing this off, that this is okay until July. It's not, okay?
All right.
I've had meetings, I've had discussions with them today. They hear us loud and clear. They understand that some things are not acceptable, and you have my commitment that we're gonna work on that to get the noise level to an acceptable.
All right. And I'll keep speaking to you, and hopefully, even if it's not here, that we can have emails and you can keep some updates. And, I haven't, again, it seems like that with all your social media posts and everything, I mean, that the people that aren't here at the meeting or that have, that I've told and, talked to my neighborhood, no one knows this is a problem. So I mean, there's not enough, I don't think there's enough statements on what's going on really outside of here or, directly speaking to people in my neighborhood that yeah, I hear that sounds like a plane. Is there a new airport back there? No, that's the power plant, and that's
Well,
that's
to
it.
be fair, as I mentioned earlier, we put information out there. We're transparent, we put it out there. But there's also responsibility on everyone's else part to tune in. I mean, I
Oh,
know
yeah.
there's people
Yeah, I
here
get
that've
that.
never been to a public meeting.
I get that.
We have these twice a month, every
Right.
month. They're video recorded.
Yeah.
You can go back and watch every meeting that I've ever done since 2013. You can go watch it. So everything that I've said, it has been recorded.
Right.
It's out there. And so anyway, there is some responsibility on the citizens' part as well to stay informed as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. It's just, with this being that big of an impact, with it affecting so many neighborhoods, and so many people, it seems like maybe just getting out in front of that and letting more people know via social media. With more people are looking at social media than they are watching these meetings. I mean, no disrespect there. I'm new here, obviously. We haven't spoke before all this started happening. So yeah, I get that not everyone's showing up or not everyone's watching and listening to them. It's it's not everybody's following everything like
Yeah.
that. But if you post something on Facebook or Twitter or whatever your other social medias are, you're going to have a lot more people that are aware that aren't going to come to these meetings or listen to them.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think we got pretty good coverage. I think we got traditional media here.
Yeah.
Again, it's being video recorded.
Right.
I've told you the latest details. I've
Yeah.
told you specifically what is next to address the noise
All right.
concern, and it's legit.
Okay.
So the good news for you is that you don't realize it, but I am on your team. You don't quite feel that way yet.
and you
But-
can understand why, though, correct?
I do,
mean,
I do.
I'm not doubting you or calling you a liar. I'm just saying that this drives me nuts.
Yeah.
It really does. And I work full time. I come home, and this is what I have to hear.
Well-
Can't even be outside for long. This is what I have to hear. Can't
Yeah.
get to sleep at night. This is what I have to hear. So
Yeah.
I mean that's my problem. And I mean,
understand.
if you live there, you would. And I know you're still keeping up and keeping on them, but I mean, maybe that's why it's bothering me so much, right? And so also, I mean, you've said that due diligence was done, that this wouldn't have any adverse effects, but obviously it does. And there are homes on Stanton Road too. There's people that live on Stanton Road, and so for me, for y'all to walk around and say, hey, this is going to be fine, not going to bother anybody, it's just, it's good for the city. I mean, I wonder how the people on Stanton Road feel about that. There's someone right across the street from this power plant.
But then again, I have to stand by that. If you buy a house in the
Right.
middle of an industrial zone, you made that decision.
All right. Well, this property's been there for quite some time, probably longer than that's been industrial. And then which I don't, it's not something I've dug into
Yeah.
a lot, but I also know that another property was considered a agriculture zone, and that residence felt like he still is. And then I just informed him recently, no, that's industrial now. And I don't know when that got changed. I don't know the process of that getting changed, but that's.
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
Well, we'll wrap it up.
So,
But I appreciate you coming forward.
One more thing, if you
Okay.
don't mind, though. So I've just, in talking to some of the realtors and stuff, because, obviously I'm ready to get out of here, but my property value's already taken a hit because I have to disclose that, hey, I'm right next to an active power plant and this noise is happening. So, there's more effects than just the noise. And then, the new GXO building they've purchased, there's 250 plus people that are going to be without a job after next week because that is bought out and they're temporary employees that now have to go find employment elsewhere. So again, there's more concerns to that. And then, with my complaint on the noise and what we see, the XAI has told us that's not going to happen, and here it is happening, that would be no adverse effects, then it's hard for me to believe what they're telling everybody else about the pollution and the water usage and utilities and stuff that's happening in other states that are ahead of us in this game. So I think there's bigger concerns. I think that the future will show some economic benefits, but it's also going to show a lot of other problems. There's a lot of people in Southaven and Colonial Hills that are ready to get out of this area because of this, and there's going to be. I feel like there's more people ready to leave than this is going to bring jobs to. So that one more thing, we do have a petition. We did email this to you along with most of the Board of Aldermen. And we were asking for something where other people can speak at to voice their concerns, and we have got no response on that. So we have a petition with over 700 signatures and some public impact statements that we'd like to leave with y'all.
Okay, Bill, yeah, please leave that, just leave it at the podium if you will.
All right.
Our city attorney will take that, yeah. Jason, thanks for coming forward, I
Thanks.
appreciate it.
Hopefully we get some more updates on it and this moves faster because I'm losing plenty of sleep over this, living that close.
I hear what you're saying, yes, sir. Okay, and then we had one other person who wanted to speak. We have Miss Shannon Samsa. Are you here? Okay, please come forward. We're pen pals, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
We were.
We were.
I have the email.
I am Shannon Sansa. I've lived in Southaven my whole life. And to be completely honest, I would rather be anywhere else but here right now. I don't like attention. I don't like getting up in front of people. I'm not here for drama or politics. I'm here because I care about my community. I work in healthcare, and if I don't speak up, I don't know who's going to. Mayor, like you said, I emailed you in August with some pretty detailed concerns, and I appreciated your initial reply, but when I asked for documentation to support the claims being made, I never heard back from you. And now I've watched those concerns start to come true one by one. I was told there would be no noise issues and that all due diligence had been done, but both Southaven and Horn Lake residents are enduring like relentless turbine noise like Jason just talked about, so I won't get too much into that, but there was at least 18 turbines that started running in August, and although I was also assured they would not run 24/7, many are running 16 to 24 hours a day. And despite a claim that temporary air permit was in place, MDEQ confirmed there is no temporary air permit. They are using an exemption that allows them to bypass public notice, a public comment period, and air monitoring for up to a full year. We were told they have our best interests in mind, but this facility will emit more pollution than any other in Southaven and possibly the county. DeSoto is already the only county in Mississippi that is failing air quality standards for ozone, and that is per the American Lung Association.
Yeah, let me just clarify that. There are several things that I'm gonna help you with a little bit. A lot of that has to do, we're grouped in with West Memphis, Arkansas.
DeSoto County
So that is, our air quality has been addressed as a region, not just as it's not just DeSoto County, okay? The trucking industry is significant more, as we all know, in West Memphis. So we get grouped into that, so
I do know what you're talking about, but that's a separate measurement than the one that is the report card. The report card for DeSoto County specifically is a F, a failure for ozone, and it's a B for particulate matter. If we were grouped
right,
in one,
and I'm not going to get into specifics other than to tell you that is relevant to the mayor of the city because of economic development purposes. So I've been in many discussions about that, okay? And a lot of that is what I'm telling you. It's not from something that's happening in DeSoto County. It's the Memphis Metro as a whole.
yeah, I agree with that. I agree that a lot of it is coming from Memphis.
But I'm gonna let you speak because I don't want to take your time. So go ahead.
Okay, sure. XII's own consultant submitted plans to add 41 permanent turbines and projections of 423 tons of nitrogen oxides per year. To put that into perspective, that is more than 4 times the amount the Southaven TVA plant produces annually. And that's with pollution controls, by the way. So these turbines are operating within 2 miles of more than 10 different schools with children whose lungs are still developing. They're, like Jason said, hundreds of feet from the nearest homes. Their own data shows emissions of multiple hazardous air pollutants, including formaldehyde, benzene, arsenic, chromium, all of which have no safe level of exposure. So even if it's a small amount, it's cumulative, and over time that matters. They're also emitting significant amounts of particulate matter, sulfur dioxide, and so many others. And as someone with 2 healthcare degrees, I just want to be really clear, these emissions are linked to serious, well-established health risks. Stroke, heart attacks, asthma, cancer, reproductive harm, pregnancy complications, and even things like dementia, Parkinson's, and mental health disorders. And those risks are especially dangerous in communities that are already struggling with air quality. People will die from this. I'm not saying that to be funny, I'm being serious. I have 2 healthcare degrees. I have extensive clinical knowledge. People will die from this. This is not safe. And another issue is the water. We were promised water recycling before operations began, so there would be no impact to the aquifer. Between September and October alone, XII already used 99,000 gallons of water. I understand in relative terms, that's not a lot right now, but I don't know what's been used since, and their operations have clearly expanded. Now they have a data center, which uses the majority of water, so that's another concern that I have. And we're told this is an economic win, but I can corroborate what Jason said from different sources. There are more than 250 workers being laid off at the warehouse that XII just acquired. And on top of that, I didn't see a sewer fee on XII's water bills, which raises questions about whether they're receiving the tax incentives through the West End program, which would exempt them from nearly all property taxes for 7 years, plus whatever financial incentives they might be receiving through the Chamber of Commerce or the state. I don't believe any of you or you, Mayor, intended to harm the community. I don't. I believe what you're saying, that you wouldn't invite someone here that intended to cause harm. But the city opened the door to XII, not us, not MDEQ, not the state. This was a local decision that was made, and now we are living with the consequences of a choice that we had no say in. So I'll end with, you still have the power to do something about this and make this right, no matter what it may cost you. And I think that deep down, you know what is happening is wrong. But if nothing changes, the legacy left behind won't be beautification projects or skate parks. It will be the moment residents realize their health, their peace of mind, and their trust were sold off. Many of whom are here tonight asking for something very basic, like Jason mentioned, a public town hall, just a real public forum with real transparency. Will the city be responding to that request?
The city will talk to MDEQ is the official, as I've told you in the email, the official environmental quality agency. The permitting and the processes that occurred with this are done by MDEQ. Now, obviously, as I told you in an email, I would not, when this was first brought to my attention, I did my own research on what this is. And again, we're not going to debate tonight, but I disagree with your comments. I would not be an advocate for anything that was going to jeopardize the health of the people of
I
Southaven.
said I agree with
so
that.
You know, and I know I'm a much older man than you, but just so you know, the neighborhood you're referring to, that's the neighborhood I grew up in. I lived my
I
whole
am
life in
aware.
that neighborhood. I went to Hope Sullivan School. My sports career started at Cherry Valley.
So did
You
mine.
won't find one human being in the city that loves Colonial Hills like I love it, okay? Have a great history there. The last thing in the world, I wouldn't let this happen anywhere, but the last place I would let people's health be jeopardized would be in the neighborhood where I grew up.
And I believe you. I just think maybe you didn't understand the implications of this before agreeing to
So
it.
you're disagreeing with MDEQ, and that's what we're not going to get into. MDEQ
Has not approved any permits except for a general construction permit.
You're getting into semantics because their formal processes allow them to use temporary turbines before the permanent permit is done for the permanent generator.
So your stance is the city could have done absolutely nothing about this. They can't speak out about it, nothing.
Yeah, I could have run the development away and cost. I'm gonna get into the financials for you, okay?
Okay, sure.
So I'm gonna make this real clear, and these are not all exact because, like I said, I'm not gonna get ahead of XAI. They've proven that what they told me in early 2024 has happened, but there's a lot of unknowns still, so we don't know the exact numbers. But I'm just gonna give you a hypothetical example. So, the general fund, do you know how much the general fund is?
I don't.
Okay, so just the general fund in Southaven, Mississippi for this budget year is $83,316,000.
Okay.
Okay, so hypothetically, what has been announced so far, the financial impact to all the citizens in 2028, it would add over $20 million to the general fund, just this one development. Now, I've been a part of many great developments in my time here. There's never been a development that generated that kind of revenue. So the way the tax structure works, the city has a millage rate, city gets tax revenue because the business personal property they have will be taxed. Well, in addition to that, DeSoto County gets a comparable, actually a little bit less, and then the school system's millage rate is even higher than the city's. So when you look at this at the end of the day, just based on what has been announced thus far, it's going to insert $60 million into DeSoto County.
So they're
Now,
not.
you mentioned that you're an academic person. So you think about what that amount of money does to our schools. They're improving the schools, improving the teacher pay. Then from a city standpoint, do you know what I can do with the average total cost? You see these police officers around here. To put a police, no, not these are experienced people, but to put a brand new police officer on the streets, about $125,000 a year. So if you give me $20 million, can you do the math in your head real quick?
So to be clear, they're not receiving the West End tax benefits. They're paying property taxes fully.
No, they have incentives. You don't bring a development of this magnitude without incentives.
No, I understand that, but you just said that they would be receiving.
This organization, they're around the world, they want to be Southaven. This is coveted around the world. These financial numbers, this is unprecedented in the state of Mississippi. Anybody around the world would love to have this development here. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you is that when I'm a steward of the money of the city of Southaven, I look out for the future of the city. When I see something that's going to improve the lives of the citizens of Southaven, when I look at a $20 million insertion in one budget year, I'm adding more police officers. I'm paving more streets. I'm adding more EMS personnel to protect you when you have a heart attack in your front yard. I'm improving the parks. All these traffic problems that people complain about every day, I'm fixing those. I'm not waiting on the federal government to give me some grant through the MPO program. I'm fixing them today in Southaven. So the amount of money, the financial benefits that our city and our county could potentially get from this is game-changing. In your lifetime, in my lifetime, it's never happened. So am I gonna run something like that off? Absolutely not. Now, again, if there was objective evidence that it's gonna cause health problems to the people, I would have been fighting it on day one.
Was a public health study
But that's
done?
when you and I disagree, because, and MDEQ disagrees with
Was a
you.
public health study done?
MDEQ is the, like I said.
MDEQ does not have doctors or medical professionals. Was a public health study done ahead of
MDEQ is the
time?
formal environmental protection agency in the state of Mississippi.
I'm aware
I
of
know
that.
you don't agree with them, and that's where we're gonna end the discussion. The bottom line is you don't agree with what the experts
I
say,
don't
and
agree
I
that-
respect that. But I disagree with you. I would never allow a development to come to Southaven that harmed the people of this city. And the financial benefits of this are game-changing for these citizens and will pay huge dividends to the people of Southaven and DeSoto County for many years to come.
Not all money is good money, Mayor.
I respect your time. Thanks for coming forward. Okay, so that's all we have on the agenda. We'll move forward. Next on the agenda is the personnel docket.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the personnel docket as presented on this date.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Hoots. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Lewis. Yes. Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is our city attorney's legal update. Mr. Nick Manley again.
Just one quick item, no action, just to enter into the minutes, the fee and lieu agreement that was previously approved for XAI as well. So, no action, just motion that in the minutes tonight.
Thank you, sir. Next on the agenda is the utilities billing leak adjustment docket.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the utility bill leak adjustment docket as presented on this date.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Flores. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Yes.
Alderman Lewis. Yes. Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on the agenda is one claims docket.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the claims docket in the amount of $2,134,663.81, including demand checks.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Flores. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Lewis. Yes. Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is the purpose of determining the need for executive session.
Make that motion.
We got a motion by Alderman Gallagher, second by Alderman Hoots. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Ayes have it. Motion carries. The needs this evening are economic development within the city and interdepartmental personnel with no action. Do we have any claims, Nick?
One claim for city infrastructure, public works.
Okay, one claim for public works infrastructure. So those are the needs. Is there now a motion to declare executive session?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Hoots, second by Alderman Wheeler. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Ayes have it. Motion carries. The mayor and board will now enter executive session.